Hello. Sorry. So, good evening. Medyo late na. Pasensya na kayo. Ako yung last speaker. I'll be presenting Design Against the Element. So, let me first introduce myself. So, I am a building architect at Chiyoda, Philippines, a Japanese petrochemical oil and gas engineering company. So, basically, I am tasked to do building projects with high level of strength, quality, safety standard, and precautionary measures. Example of building that I do are, first are safe haven building. These are mainly used as safe refuge, protection of personnel during emergency situation, windows and openings, protected power supply, protected air supply, satellite phone, radio base station, sustenance meaning food and drinks, breathing apparatus or gas mask, medical kits, and CCTV camera. Next type of building that I do are blast-resistant building. These buildings are with occupants and are located at potential blast zone area. So they are structurally designed to withstand blast overpressure to minimize injury or risk to people. So if this one is good for blast, it can be used as against cyclone also. Example, my buildings in Qatar. So para mabilis ma-recover yung plant, yung building is designed to withstand blast. So para hindi masayang yung resources ng company, yung income sa production oil, madali ma-recover in case na may blast. And then the current building that I do right now is the modular building. In project site where labor is very scarce or cost is very expensive, buildings are constructed as a module at fabrication yard in other countries where cheap skilled labor are readily available, such as the Philippines, Thailand, and China. Then transported by ship and installed at project site in Australia, it can be for a large entire building. So this is my current project in Australia, which is currently being fabricated in AGNP Batangas and assembled in Batangas Port. Currently being assembled at Batangas Port. And the scheduled shipment will be on May. So the first 4 building will be shipped to Australia. So this is the most expensive building and the most perfect building that yung currently na-experience ko. So to give you a background of what my company do, this is a short video. This is our client Impex. HTS is the symbol for Christ, yung fish. So that is the symbol, referring to Christ. Christ, but yung project namin is located sa Darwin, Australia. So medyo yung religion and science nagka-combine. So in Australia, we have a LNG reserve. Pakita tayo ilaw. Hindi makita. So under sa ilalim ng dagat, meron mga reserve ng gas. So i-extract yan. So this is the onshore facility. Yung ginagawa ko is sa onshore. Nandun yung processing, yung malaking processing. Sa Asia kasi saka sa Oceania, sa Australia, ang marami is yung energy gas. Sa Middle East is yung oil. So basically, parehas lang sila. So extract yung gas, dadalhin sa offshore facility. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Pakita ko lang yung facility na. So this is offshore. From offshore, yung pipe is going to Darwin, Australia, which is my current project right now. So yung pipeline from under the sea, papunta sa. You will notice kaya pinakita to. The site is very similar to Tacloban. So onshore siya, nasa shoreline, then low-lying. So, pinapag ko rin yung lugar ito, category 5 bagyo, prepared sila. So, one day lang, kaya nila makarecover. So, yung proposal ko today is, kung may budget, at kung meron mag-finance, ito yung magiging perfect model for a disaster resilient. Kasi mostly na binig ko is a temporary house, transition house. So, mas maganda is, kung meron ka ng pera, magagawa natin ito. As a model for everyone to follow. Sa planta kasi medyo high level ang safety. And then, kasi nga, sayang yung cost ng production. So, sayang yung pera na kita nila. Magkano ang gas ngayon? Magkano ang kuryente? So, yung perang kita nila, kailangan to be used. So, this is KPR. Yung buildings dito is nakuha ng KPR yung partner namin. Then yung project, yung sa Pilipinas po is yung yung building namin is nandito sa plant site area. Nandiyan kasi yung technical site, so hindi pwedeng bigay sa mga regular contractor. So nandito yung mga buildings namin which is being done in Batangas. The most expensive and the most perfect building that I've seen right now. Okay. So pares sa Tacloban, shoreline, video. So every day in my office, we always design against the element. So ano yung elements? Air, referring to typhoon, cyclones, tornado, sandstorm, gas leak, and chemical attacks. Then we also design against water, meaning rain, heavy rain, flood, storm surge, tidal wave, and hailstorm. Then next is the fire, which is fire obviously, and heat wave, wildfire, lightning. And then finally is the earth, referring to quakes, landslide, erosion, sinkhole. So maraming sumusupport sa akin kasi maraming kapisina ng engineers, so maraming gumagawa ng mga checking. So in 2009, my family was also a victim of the Typhoon Ondoy, wherein I almost died trying to rescue my wife and kid. So that is my late wife na namatay siya last July 2. And then in 2010, because of my experience in Ondoy and because of my work current specialization, I joined a global design competition on house project that is well adapted for climate change, entitled Design Against the Element. So this is my team. My wife is the secretary. My boys is my researcher and my consultant, my youngest. So this is my first, this is the cover sheet entitled Towards a Better and Safer Future. Ito yung gusto kong propose na perfect model. Kung meron tayong pera to finance such project, it can be pwede gayahin ng mga community natin. So obviously medyo mahal siya, pero meron tayong mapupulo dito na medyo mura naman. Mga ideas which I will present to you. So this is my site plan. Most of the items that I will be discussing is on this sheet, on this cover. This is my housing plan. It's elevated 4 meters high. So yung baba is open for parking, for multi-purpose. Then I have a 5-level housing plan. This is the elevation. The elevation is 4 meters, and I have a elevated road at the center, so around 2 meters high. And this is my community center or my emergency shelter. So yung mga hindi nakatira sa bahay or yung mga nasa surrounding community, pwede sila mag-locate dito. So, number one, we need communication. To avoid panic, looting, and chaos, it is necessary to convey message instructions before, during, and after any disaster. It is vital to receive or transmit information and use in the community in times of crisis and to warn occupants of impending danger. Hence, the following items are highly recommended. PAGA, meaning Public Address or General Alarm System. So this is vital. For me, obviously medyo mahal siya. So, but if we have the resort, if we have the political will, or if we can get a commercial or advertising announcement, I think we can generate this kind of facility. So as much as possible, we try to include in every barangay a speaker system. And then next is the alarm or siren, especially in disaster-prone area, we need to include this alarm system. In my house right now in De La Costa home, they already included a flat alarm system. And then we also need to include satellite phone or radio-based station to our mayors and governors. So yun nangyari sa Tacloban, I would like to show you. So, nagkaroon ng chaos and looting panic. So ito yung pinag-usapan natin kanina, mitigation, prevention, preparation, response, and recovery. So ngayon, tayo on this stage, nasa prevention tayo, mitigation. Then yung Tacloban right now is nasa recovery stage na. So before, we need to inform the community. Kung may papatating na bagyo, ina-inform na tayo ng satellite information, ng mga pictures, may warning na kung gano'n kalakas yung bagyo, inform natin, educate natin community. Gano'n kalakas to, anong ibig sabihin ng storm surge? Saka may internet naman to research, kaya dapat expected na natin kung gano'n kalaking damage. Before yung damage ng ongoing, is under level 2 lang. So yung local community, local officials can respond. But in the current Yolanda disaster, in-expect na dapat nila na malaki ang magiging damage. So yung regional, ang scale is regional na. So obviously, pilay ang local officials. So, ewan kung meron silang chart ito, pero sa planta, ginagamit namin ito. So, step by step, alam mo na gagawin mo. So, kung national naman yung extent, kung mas malaki pa sa Yolanda yung mangyayari, ang magre-respond obviously is UN or other countries. Kasi pilay na ang national government natin So ito na, sana makita ng government natin to and then gamit. And then, mo pagka 1 week ang dating ng may step-by-step procedure siya. Kung yellow, 2 days. Kung red alert, nandiyan na yung magbagyo, anytime padating na siya. Then yung all clear is kung lumampas na siya. So step by step na yung mga procedure na dapat gagawin. So which, I think yung kulang sa barangays natin, sa government, hindi sila prepared o wala procedures. Then also yung notification system. Tulong-tulong dapat tayo dito sa notification system. First is yung via barangay bulletins. So every barangay official pupunta sa community. Mahirapan kung walang speaker. So unahin nila, isa-isa nila pupuntahan. Then we can use the media, AM radio, FM radio, TV, newspaper. Then we can also use the web or netizen and social media. And then finally then also texting. Kailangan texting or SMS. Then next, I would like to recommend the structural material. For me, the best disaster resilient material is the reinforced concrete. This is my preferred material for the column, beam, slab, foundation, roof paper, pavement, and maybe roofing also. Because number one, it has considerable compressive strength. Ito, galing to sa structural book ng mga engineers. So, which is very true. It is very rigid against strong winds and earthquakes. And it has great resistance to fire and water. And in fact, it is the best material against water. Second, it is very low maintenance and a very long service life. So tama si Architect Noche last week na yung old buildings natin, hindi siya weak. Actually, mas matibay siya. Kung na-survive yung mga bomba before, mas matibay siya ngayon. Kasi yung concrete is matagal siya mas solidify. Mas lalo tumatagal, mas lalo siya lumalakas. Then third is, it is usually the only economical material available because of the inexpensive indigenous material. So, locally available. The sand, gravel, and water is very cheap. We only need a small amount of concrete and reinforcement bar. Then lastly, a lower skilled labor is only required. So, kahit sino marunong mag-konkreto. And going back to indigenous material, sorry, isingit ka lang po to. Will always attach indigenous material as being bamboo only. But in the previous Millennium School Design Competition last 2008, they made a very false claim or information. One, because it has no basis. Bamboo is not accepted or not mentioned in any building code. So tayo dapat aware tayo sa mga building code. Yung building code natin medyo luma, pero meron ng mga existing building code na pwede natin basahin or kupihin Tagalog. So hindi siya, wala siya sa building code. And then number two, it's very common sense. Yung bamboo is hollow. Walang naman yung loob. And then it is very weak and no fire rating. Yung timber, meron siya, nasa building, nasa code siya. Yung timber, yung mga kapitong, yung mga NARA. So nandun siya sa NSCP, National Structural Code of the Philippines. So yung matibay yun. Then, so how do we achieve reinforced concrete? The advantages in using reinforced concrete. First, we have to invest on Firmitas is one of the three principles in architecture, which architect Noche also mentioned. According to Marcos, ito yung first architect ng Roman times. Architects should be guided by the following principles. Actually, wala itong order, pero for this purpose, gagawin ko number one ang Firmitas. Firmitas refer to the durability, strength, and safety. Then next is Utilitas, or referring to utility, use, and function. And then lastly will be Venustas, or aesthetics. Hindi ko sinasabi na i-disregard natin yung dalawang elements at dalawang principle. Ang sinasabi ko lang is, yung gastos natin sa pera, unahin muna natin yung Firmitas. Ang nangyayari kasi ngayon is, yung owner, hindi kagad ng mga mahaling finishing, yung tiles, yung fixtures. So it's common sense, yung paglalagay mo, hindi siya matibay. So kailangan patibayan. Kahit gano'n kalaki yung bagyo, kung matibay yung structure mo, yung column mo right size, yung slab mo right size, yung bakal mo, yung tamang size ng bakal or lapping, makakulit niya ng any disaster. So ito yung number one recommendation and conclusion. So always remember to never to reduce, undersize, or substitute the following: foundation, footing, column, beams, and slab, reinforcement bars, spacing or lapping of rebars. Medyo nagkamali yung 50 or 75 concrete cover. And then yung correctly mixture ng concrete, it should be always in the correct proportion, which is 1 part concrete, 1 part cement, 2 parts sand, and 3 parts rock. Ito lang. And then previously, last week, forum, I have a suggestion on the NHA proposal made during last week. So, according to NHA proposal, the budget is only 160,000. So this can only be a starter house. Actually, this model is very similar to my house in De La Costa. Yes. To be disaster resilient, we need retrofitting. We need additional RC frames. So the CHP wall, without the supporting RC frame, CHP is very weak to resist strong winds. And then reinforcement wall, we need to expose the reinforcement bar to provide connection for future RC frame. Then the jealousy window and all openings will be boxed up, boarded up. And then on the grading for economy, on the previous design competition, we were given a very regular lap. So, pababa siya. Yung first place winner, ang ginawa niya is nagtipid siya sa grading. Which is, for me, is very wrong. Because at least, ang ideal is, mas mataas siya sa natural grade. But obviously, mahal siya. So, ang dapat natin gawin is, i-level lang natin at least. Wala yung mga mababang part. Kasi doon pupunta tubig. So this one is a very poor design, and rainwater that falls on surface of property should always flow off. So palabas lagi yung hindi pa punta dito sa building. Yung building niya nasa gitna ng flooded area. So as much as possible, level siya sa road outside or yung natural grade. Kaya ang ginawa ko dito, nakatipid ako sa grade sa tambak. Ang aim ko sana is mas above siya. Ang ginawa ko na lang, elevated yung building ko, around 4 meters. Then may open ditch drainage system. For the storm drain, I always recommend open ditch drainage system with optional removable precast cover. This is for easy and trouble-free maintenance. So I have a suggestion on the DPWH flood control project, which is currently being done in Metro Manila. So this is the DPWH flood control project, which uses a closed catchment tunnel or pits. This is very expensive. Obviously, ang kapal ng buhos, ang daming bakal, so napakamahal po siya. And then I think yung idea nito is nakuha rin doon sa first place winner, which is nakipid siya sa grading, pero yung pit is very expensive. So ang plan nila is maglagay din sa UST grandstand ito. Under the grandstand, we will put tunnels or pit. But ang advice ko is just a retention pond, open or sunken. So maganda sana is i-dig up yung grandstand. Then yung perimeter is benches lang ang nilagay. Then yung tubig, yung rainwater, ang tendency is mag-percolates lang siya sa soil. And then, or evaporates. Kasi yung price ng DPWH, as long as na maraming pupuntahan niya, useless siya, waste of money po. Ang dapat inuna nila is i-clean up yung mga estero natin, yung mga rivers, yung floodways. Pero normally, medyo low, mababa na yung area din natin, so I think medyo mahirap din talaga i-control yung flood. Next is the solar street lights. So this is recommended for areas wherein disasters always disrupted. So self-explanatory na po to. Then next is the concrete tile paper. Ang problem sa concrete is waterproof siya. So ang tendency, yung city natin right now is very puno ng concrete. So ang tendency, yung tubig hindi na nasisipsip ng lupa. So idea ko dito, kaya ginamit ko concrete tile paper sa yung mababang roof is to let the soil absorb the rainwater. So I recommend this to reduce heavy flooding in cities. I strongly recommend using concrete tile paper along sidewalk, service road, open park facility, private road intersection, playgrounds. Then I also utilize elevated concrete, obviously parang meet siya in every building. Next is peace, safety, and security. I-highlight ko lang dito yung Master Key and Grand Master Key. Since yung government magbibigay ng libre pabahay, maganda sana is controlling din natin yung susi nila for emergency purposes. So in case na fire, wala yung may-ari doon, pwedeng puntahan ng barangay or ng homeowners association. And then to prepare our community against disaster, we need them to be physically and mentally fit. So we need to include such facility as basketball, tennis, and badminton. So self-explanatory. We need also to put herbal and edible landscape. Then we also need to include graphics and signages. Yung mga safety sign, yung mga emergency signs, yung numbers nakalagay lang sa vicinity. Then yung traffic, convenient and efficient traffic circulation. So dapat nangyari sa squatters, kaya nagkakasulog is hindi organized, natatrap ng mga tao in case of emergency, tulog. Malilit yung mga daan and wala yung circulation is very poor. Skip ko na ibang part, so i-highlight ko yung ibang part na. Then itong lastly is the minimalist style. Yung dome kanina is part of the minimalist style. So, anong advantage dito? Minimalist style is tinatanggal yung mga hindi kailangan. Yung sobrang arte, tinatanggal niya. So, ang advantage nito is less furniture, less decoration, less damages ang mangyayari. And then easy to recover, quick and easy to recover. And then yung evacuation will be very fast. Yung iba, hindi ko na itadaan, medyo limited na yung time natin. So, first self-explanatory na po yung iba. Then itong, lastly, itong multi-purpose shelter nila. So ito yung dapat tatakbuhan ng tao in case of mahina yung bahay nila. So dapat ito yung pinakamatibay, code rate yung tawag ko dito. So, as much as possible, sana makapag-include tayo dito in every barangay or in every city. So may pag-finance, siguro mga school buildings, mga barangays, sports facility. Inside this multi-purpose shelter, we have the health, safety, disaster preparedness. So to conduct regular fire, earthquake drill, flood, storm drill, provide information and guidance to help everyone make informed decisions about assessing risk and taking appropriate precaution. We should include alert stages, individual checklist, emergency kit list, and contact numbers during emergency. So, skip ko na itong conclusion na daanan natin kanina. So, number 2, conclusion. Politicians, even if they were sincere, cannot solve this problem because they have no technical capability. They need the help of architects and engineers. Because we are trained to solve this problem and we have the capability, experience, and know-how to design, plan, and construct building. So kailangan natin tulungan ng mga politician natin, si Lacson siguro, President. Then lastly, 2 slides na lang po. Third conclusion, from the UN report, yung trend is very alarming na. Nakita niyo, in the past 3 years, pataas siya. Wala pa dito yung 2013 figures. So, hindi na to expect mo na ito na mangyayari every year. So we have to prepare. And then, ito yung nangyayari ngayon, destruction and rebuild cycle. Before, during the presentation of Miguel Guerrero, in-indicate lang niya is natural calamities, which is happening now in the Philippines. But in other countries, ang nangyayari is war, conflict. So may positive side to. Hindi lahat bad side. So, ang positive side is reduction of population, increased activity in civil and building construction, job creation, business expansion, opportunity to redesign and plan our ruined city. So, sa business namin, sa engineering, ganito yung nangyayari. May nag-joke sa akin na Japanese before na ano difference sa military engineering sa civil engineering. So, ano nangyayari is, military engineering muna na una, sisiraan niyo yung lugar, then saka kami papasok. Kaya maybe next year, ang next project natin is Iraq or Afghanistan. Sad to say, pero yan ang reality nowadays. Medyo iba, then natural calamities. Then I'd like to end my presentation with the following quotes. They must find it difficult to those who have taken authority as the truth, rather than truth as the authority. Work for a cause, not for applause. Live life to express, not to impress. Don't strive to make your presence noticed, just make your absence felt. And a leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim is fulfilled, they will say, we did it ourselves. Yun lang po. Salamat po.
Appreciation for your participation as a speaker and source person, sharing your time and knowledge in UAP Design Forum 2013, Solutions for Safer Communities, a forum by the UAP Emergency Architects, December 7, 2013, UAP Building, Quezon City.
Alam na kung